sequence here, I forgot to tell Sarah about this one, a colleague of Mary's that preceded John Birdie. I'll read the letter to you, Mary. It says, "Hello, Mary. A blast from your past brought a smile to my face. Congratulations on a fine run and retirement. I also taught middle school during its heyday when kids were allowed to enjoy and have fun while growing, learning, to be fine young adults. One can only hope the pendulum swings back soon. I remember a beautiful, energetic young woman walking into grad school back in the fall of 1979, taking 6th graders on an environmental learning camping trip to South Wood County Park. I remember this young new teacher showing up for 6th grade paper drive and saying that her engine light was on, only to find out that she didn't have a clue about oil changes, and that it might be a problem after 50,000 miles. Larry Shepard and I fixed it up and got her on the road again. Grant School was a great place for a new teacher to explore, experiment, to try new ways to develop the unique style that all good teachers use. Good memories. Enjoy retirement. Fred Jastrow, wow. Grant School 6th grade partner." Grant School is a very, very tiny elementary school on the outskirts of Wisconsin Rapids in the small burg of Kellner, and that was Mary's first job. And I'm guessing that probably got paid all of what? $10,000.
John Birdie talked about Mary being on a team of 5, and one of those team members is standing next to me, so I'm going to let him introduce himself and how he got to know Mary and give his toast and tribute.
Well, first, congratulations, Mary. And John Rice. Well, anyway, as John said, Mary gave him really good advice because it took 3, 4, close to 5 years for us to get him in proper sequence and be a good principal. Mary did all of the good soft work, talking, and I was a bird and was behind. The whole time I worked with him, but I liked John very, very much, and I golfed with him a lot, and I had no problem working with him, but I usually could teach meetings, put in a few barbs that would cause him to go back to too late to stay there. Well, that's what a good school does. You work together. Let's see. First couple of years I came to Verona in '86. We were in that old building, and I only knew MGM. MGM? What's that? Well, eventually, I learned that I could run higher. And, but when I really got to know Mary was when we moved from the old school up to Badger Ridge to the new school. And, as John was saying, we had this huge meeting because we were going to go to team teaching. And I had done 10 years of team teaching before that at another school. And I loved that kind of teaching. Loved working together with my partners. And I remember they brought a University of Eau Claire person down to indoctrinate us into team teaching. And we went off into our corner and we started planning what we're going to start doing the first day, and the second day, and the third day, while the rest of them were working through the list they had of how you discipline students. And we all looked at each other and said, we all know how to teach. We've been in the classroom a long time. We don't have to waste time figuring out what we're going to do in discipline, because there isn't going to be any problem in that respect. And so we continued working with 5 people at first, and then went down to 4, and then eventually down to 2, some of us. And that was just the best time I had in teaching prior to the 10 years before when I had taught and a team. I always remember when we sat and decided, how we can implement these students at the beginning of the year, and when all 5 of us, we do a field trip, and this is where we did the field trip, right here. And we used this area right out here to introduce those kids the first week of school to us to them, and outdoor education was very, very important at that time. And we worked together to try to make all classes, social studies, math, science, language arts, reading, combined as a team. And I was so lucky to go through the last years of my career being able to team teach. And I never had a bad team person on that team. Any kind. And Mary, of course, she was a steady one. Sarah was my secretary. And we'd have team meetings, and they would say all this stuff. I would say, well, I got it up here. If I don't have it up here, I just go across to Sarah. Sarah, what did we say about that? She'd tell me. But that was fantastic. Well, Mary, I taught for 37 years, 5 of them in 5 different districts in Wisconsin, and 3 different districts overseas. And you are at the top. No doubt. You are also. When you teach, it's the kids that count. And as a team, we knew that. We had to teach John something. I have a little story about John. And we had one child, a really nice daughter. Oh, short and sweet. Well, okay, very sweet. John came in when she was in 6th grade and said they bought a cabin just up in northern Wisconsin because we want to have her come up there in the summertime with a friend and we can enjoy that cabin. Came back the next year. I said, John, how's the cabin going? We sold it. How come? Well, she didn't really want to take her friends to go up to the cabin. I said, John, how many years you been teaching? This is 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. You have to know by this time that these kids don't want anything to do with their parents at this time. They want to be with their friends. Well, I guess I learned that lesson, he said. But I have one more story. It involves Norma back there. You listening, Norma? Okay. I had taught quite a few years before I came to Verona. And when I taught school in the past, kids always asked me, when's your birthday? And I always said December 25th. Well, that worked just fine until my youngest daughter came through the middle school, and Norma Johnson said, when's your dad's birthday? May 12th. From that point on, I had to put up with birthday parties on May 12th. But in relationship to Mary, I come from a large family. I had 5 brothers and 3 sisters. And I never had anyone sending me birthday cards, most of my life. But what she found out, she still sends me a birthday card on my birthday. And that's the only person that, is outside of my family that does it. Thank you, Mary.
intimidating standing down here with the boss. My name is Beth Elver. Sarah told me that we would each have 1.5 to 3 minutes to share memories tonight. So, Pisces people need a change. And I was about to experience a very big one. I've talked to another teacher tonight whose birthday is the day after mine. She's also going to be experiencing a big change. So Mary Greenlaw Meyer entered my life in the fall of 1991. She was one of the first people to introduce me to the Verona Area Middle School. This all meant new teachers, new school, new curriculum, new procedures. Let's move along to 1994. I stopped in to see baby Aaron in April shortly after he was born. He was crying and crying, and Mary was walking and walking. I took him from her so that she could tend to Benjamin, who was still getting adjusted to a new brother. Mary read and I talked. I walked. In the mid-1990s, Mary and I attended our first National Middle School Convention in Indianapolis. Karen Watson-Newland, Mike Chambers, and Bill Lemberg were also along. Bill drove. A lot of bonding went on as we traveled the miles to and from Indy. I don't know if any of us were ever the same after that experience. I offered Mary the other bed in my room if she wanted to save money, but she said, no way. I'm going to relish my peace and quiet. As the mother of 4 sons myself, I certainly understood her wish for privacy. And another event we went to that week, we went to see 7 Years in Tibet with Brad Pitt. It was my, we went to see the Dalai Lama in, as I said, 7 years in Tibet. Mid-1990s, as I was sitting in church one Sunday, I looked up to see Dave and Ruth Heffron and Tom and Mary walk in. Now, for those of you who knew Ruth, I had no idea what was going to happen in church that Sunday. Fortunately, well behaved. Shortly thereafter, Mary joined Springdale Lutheran Church, and Aaron played drums in our band for a few years. 2000. Verona outgrew its middle school and split into 2 middle schools, Badger Ridge and Savannah Oaks. Many of the teachers, including me, moved to the new location in Fitchburg. The first day of in-service that year, I was on my way down to the first floor office when I met Mary coming up. She had a lovely vase of flowers for my desk, and I returned it to her tonight. Same vase, different flowers. It is. In 2007, Tom and Mary allowed Aaron to go to D.C. in March that year with my grandson Dan and me. During our experiences in D.C., an event happened that we would have just as soon have forgotten about. My wallet was stolen on the mall. Couldn't have been more kind coming from Mary and Tom when we arrived back to Madison, telling me about some of the travel mishaps their family had over their years. You can't imagine my relief. And in 2017, and so, dear friend, kindred spirit, teacher of hundreds of Verona students, I wish I had been one of them. I wish you happy trails, glorious sunsets, rewarding travels, piles of interesting books, And the next time we have coffee, it will be my treat. Love you. You're welcome. Do you want it? Yeah.
For the teacher, she's got for the teacher. You're very welcome.
Our next beloved principal.
Hello everybody, dear friends. I'm David Jennings, retired principal from Badger Ridge. I follow John. And when Beth talked about the two middle schools going their separate ways, Stephanie Edwards, who can't make it tonight, but love her here. She's a friend, mentor. I know all of you love her as well. She went to Span Oaks, and John and I stayed. And I stayed a little bit longer, and then took over I was there for 10 years. So, first thing is, after writing this, I looked at Sarah's memo again, and it said funny, and I was like, oh, I was destined to be a principal because I had never could follow directions very well. So, here it goes. Mary is a retired principal at Badger Ridge. I've had the pleasure of working side by side with you for 19 years. You truly are a master educator, not only for your hundreds of students you taught and guided, but also for their families and other staff members. I learned so much from you about students in the middle and how their brains were wired and how to reach and engage them. Our daughters Hannah and Maddie were so fortunate to have you as their teacher, and they say hello and they wrote a little note to you. And Ryan Mgm'S also, who Hannah ended up marrying, and I have a son and they dated on my watch in 8th grade, and then ended up getting married last summer, and we're just thrilled. So they also, we just talked about your last weekend and how the impact that you had on their lives. So they were fortunate enough to have you as a teacher, and I was able to learn from a parent's perspective how you guided and inspired students firsthand. You instilled a passion for lifelong learning in them both, and what a gift that is. When I needed a boost in positive energy, as John talked about how you guided us, or a reality check, I would go directly to you. I tried never to miss the first day Mary introduced herself to her new class, which was a unique privilege. As you were all working, I could sneak down there and watch her bring the kids into the fold. And that was a wonderful experience and energizing for me. Introduce yourself to that new class of students, to see, to begin how they were being molded for the next group of learners walking through that classroom door. So, as Tom did, I'll try to raise my glass here to you and say thank you for shaping lifelong learners, including me, and enjoying the next chapter in your well-deserved journeys with Tom. If you write a book as one of your new activities, I will read it. I have a topic and title suggestion. And you might want to follow along in the last sentence. I think every middle school staff member knows this. And the title would be A Day in the Life of a Middle School You Just Can't Make This Shit Up.
Hi there, I'm Mary's sister Ann, and I'm not quite sure about the chronology of things, seeing as I think I have the privilege of knowing her the longest. Other than mom, that's true. Details. Oh,
blessed that I have some wonderful siblings. But with Mary, I've had a playmate, I've had a role model, and a problem solver. As kids, we did just about everything together, and very rarely, except for that shaved doll incident, did we have any disagreements. All right, she led me in so many different ways. She led me in music and in swimming. I tried to keep up, follow, but that's okay. She has great skills. I think I found something else to do. In parenting, she led the way, and in teaching, she led the way. She had kids before I did. She went into teaching before I did. So I had a great role model, a great person to follow. I was really fortunate to take advantage of all those experiences. I can think of many phone calls about cranky teething toddlers, and how do I deal with this or that problem? No, it was the other one, not him. I had a toddler that would be teething with ear infections, and how do you deal with that? And it was not fun. And Mary had all kinds of wisdom and unrattled, not unrattled me, caused me to become less rattled. That's what I wanted to say. And was very helpful, great resource. So there were many phone calls when I had little kids. And with teaching, classroom management. Okay, I thought I knew what I was doing, and sometimes it worked, and sometimes it didn't. It's like, okay, Mary, how do I deal with these coming into high school kids? Their brains haven't come back yet. What do you do? What are your secrets? How do I work with these kids? So, great resource for teaching. But then the flip side of that is, I taught at the high school. She was at Badger Ridge. And when many of my students found out that we were sisters, oh, I had your sister. She was great. I just loved her. It's like, that's a really big shadow to try and unravel. So, but it was fun. It was great having her there, and we shared a lot of kids, and that was wonderful as well, because I knew that they had a good start because they were in her class. And problem solving. Oh, teaching, that's right. She was the one that smoothed the way and was my network link to get the job that I ended up getting in Verona. It was an interesting summer in terms of getting the job and making connections, and she was kind of the network person, new persons, kind of pulled some strings, rung some bells, made some calls, and I ended up getting a job, which helped out because my first year in Verona, I had 2 toddlers, and a husband that had accepted a sabbatical leave in France, so I was a single parent for a year, in a new job, in a new town. She found me a place to live, she found me daycare for the kids, and she basically took my kids every weekend, so I could grade and prep and do everything else. So my kids essentially have a second mother. Thank you, Mary. They like you better than me many times. Because she could be nice, I had to be the mean old mom. That's right. So she was the keeper of my sanity, she was the problem solver, she helped me out in so many different ways. She's way more patient, way more comforting, and way more diplomatic than I am. So she's my role model for that as well. There are really only a few places where I've managed to come out first. I mean, I was born first, but I didn't have anything to do with that. And I retired first. So,
Good idea.
so maybe I can be a role model there. Who knows? But what I would do is give you some advice. And you can follow it or not. Treat at least the first 6 months as summer. And only do the things that you would do during the summer. Do things that make you happy. Do things that give you joy. And I know you want to do things. I did, and just ask Dave. It's my husband. He'll say, yeah, she wanted to do things right away after she retired. Yeah. Endless summer. But give yourself permission to relax, enjoy, and have fun. And congratulations.
My name is Sarah Greenwald. I'm Mary's little sister, but I'm taller. I'm also a teacher in the Verona Area School District. Many of you here have been Mary's colleague. Oh, I'm also the emotional Some of you here are friends and neighbors from outside of school. There's even a cousin here tonight. Hi, Muffy, all the way from New York. Most of you know Mary as an adult and a professional, and so I thought I would share with you some information about her that maybe you may not know, so that you can have a full picture of what brought her to this day. Did you know Mary was born in Rochester, New York in the month of May? You can guess the year. Did you know that her older sister is Ann Moffat, former physics and science teacher extraordinaire at the high school? Did you know she has a younger brother, Paul, family physician and all-around good egg, who lives in Sturgeon Bay? Did you know the children in the Greenlaw family were often referred to by number? Anne was number 1, Mary number 2, I'm number 3, and Paul 4. Did you know Mary does not have a middle name? Did you know that Mary's nickname when she was little was Little Joe? Did you know she was supposed to be a boy? Did you know Mary has always wanted to be a teacher? And in fact, when we were little and would play school, Mary was always. I loved writing on the little chalkboard we had, but knew I always had to be the student. Did you know Mary hated her second grade teacher and thought that woman was so dumb, and she really felt that she could do a much better job? And what kind of teacher puts a Kleenex wanted up in her sweater anyway? Did you know Mary's bedroom was pink? Our mother color-coded us and assigned Mary pink as her favorite color. Mary hates pink. Did you know Mary is a wonderful flute player? She is also a great accordion player, and quite recently she was part of the 100 accordions that played at the Greene County Cheese Days in Monroe, Wisconsin. As a little girl, she went through the windshield of our father's car in an accident going home from said accordion lessons. Yes. And every once in a while, a piece of glass works its way through her skull, this is true, and pops out. Did you want to know Did you know Mary was an exchange student to Austria? Did you know Mary went to state in forensics in high school? Did you know she spent many summers in a pool teaching small, clingy children how to swim? And did you know she was a camp counselor in both northern Wisconsin and Maine? Did you know she was the salutatorian of her graduating high school class? Did you know she was a swimmer and swam competitively in high school and in college? She was a backstroker. Did you know she worked at a drugstore in her early college days and had bottles and bottles of nail polish, which she would mix together to create her own colors? Remember that? Did you know Mary ran a marathon back before marathons were even popular and you could actually train with a group? This was also back before there were running shoes made for women's feet, and she wore 2 pairs of socks inside of her men's tennis shoes. Did you know Mary graduated from UWSP in, you guessed it, elementary education, and her master's is in educational psychology? Did you know her college roommate and longtime friend is here tonight? Hi, Deb. And did you know that Mary hates to do arts and crafts projects? So Deb, who is the queen of all things arts and crafts, did complete many of those required arts and crafts projects that you have to do in order to get an elementary education degree. Deb also held a craft camp for her son and Mary's son and all of her nephews in order to fill the craft void in their young lives. Our Madsen, Deb. Did you know her first teaching job was 6th grade in Kelmer, Wisconsin? Check Google Maps for its location. Did you know she was living in Washington, D.C. when she got the call for an interview in Verona, and she drove her maroon Chevette back to Wisconsin for the interview, landed the job, and started teaching in the current New Century building. From there, she moved to the middle school, which was housed in the K-Wing. Did you know Mary received the Cole Award while teaching at Badger Ridge? Yes, that's $1,000 to her and another $1,000 to the school for her outstanding teaching. Did you know Mary's first dog was a Great Dane named Kima? Since then, then she has had 4 Newfoundlands, 2 German Shepherd mixes, a sweet black dog, and her current Aussie, Parker. Did you know Mary and Parker run agility? Ask to see her box of ribbons a little later. Oh, did you know she raised my sons for many summers? Did you know Mary is a voracious reader, and during the summer typically reads no fewer than 30 books? Do you know Mary hates green beans? Did you know that Mary and Tom were married in Stevens Point, and her students attended the reception? Did you know that Mary is the mother of 2 fine men? Ben, who pretty much runs Channel 12 News in Running Measure, and Aaron, who is working in La Paz, Bolivia this summer. And did you know that Mary and Tom have lived on this piece of paradise for 30 years? And I've got to count all those years. Did you know she has had 2 field trips to the farm each year with her 7th grade house for 27 years and never lost a student? Wanted to. Never did. Did you know that seemingly everywhere I go, someone says, "Oh, my favorite teacher ever was Miss GM." And did you know that when I'm at a Verona School District event, I just introduce myself as Mary Mgm'S' sister? Because many people don't know actually that my name is Sarah. And do you know that Mary is one of the best teachers Verona has ever seen, and I'm so proud to be her sister.
I'm Norma Johnson, and my comments are somewhat nostalgic. As a brand new teacher to Verona, though not a new teacher, I sat next to a woman and I discovered in short order that she was my clone, or I was hers. We like dogs, we like swimming, we like reading, we like teaching, we like kids. And lo and behold, it turned out that she became my long-term partner with other people here like John Rice, like Sarah Worley, like Heidi Connop, and all of the support people. And I can honestly tell you that I've been in this business 54 years now, and I couldn't have asked for a better friend, a better group than what is here tonight. And it helps when you're retired, as I am, that you have these memories to sustain you. Yeah, 6 months you get to play, and then you have to do something because that's your nature. And it will be something that allows you to star because you always have been. Thank you, Mary, and thank you all of you for coming and showing your support for a teacher.
My name is Sarah Worley, and I first met Mary 28 years ago while she was on maternity leave with Benjamin. It was in front of what is now the campus, but at that time was Verona Middle School. And Benjamin was sitting in the back seat of Ruth Heffron's station wagon. And we have been friends and colleagues for 28 years now.
My name is Jane Epping, and I have been teaching with Mary for 15 years. And we first met in '02 when Sarah called me one summer when I was home after having my 2nd child and said, "Can you come and join us for a 1-year job share with Sarah and Mary being our partner?" And 1 year turned into 8, and then 7 full-time years, full years with Mary. And since we job shared with Mary, Sarah and I, for those 8 years, We're also going to job share our tribute to her tonight. So for our 8 years together, we have 8 items in this bag to share with Mary that lead up to our toast.
As John Berge said, we moved from a junior high model into a middle school model. And we were the only team of 5. And while on that team, one of our first students, I remember his name, Hank Longmire, brought us a 3-compartment popcorn tin as a Christmas gift. And we took turns refilling that tin and eating popcorn at team meetings for years. And then when John Rice retired, he continued bringing us Vic's popcorn and still regularly drops off monster bags of popcorn. So for you, Mary, your own bag.
My own bag.
As we started the middle school concept, John Rice referred to this, the goal was to make connections among our curriculums. And out of that, we ended up designing the famous scientist research project. And the very first rubrics used at Verona Middle School.
So that you can have a choice of saving or chucking. One last time, here's a famous scientist folder and 2 used and reused videotapes of the kids' I give you permission to chuck.
22 years ago, my dad decided on a whim to take my family to see Las Vegas over a weekend. That same year, Mary was turning 38. She had little kids, a busy life, she was camping around Wisconsin, and she was not very excited about turning 38. She said she wanted to do something splashy in her life, like go to Las Vegas for a weekend. So, we got splashy on that May 27th birthday of hers, and we left school during our 30-minute duty-free lunch, and we went to a garage sale in Verona. I remember what Mary bought. Mary bought a bunch of cloth napkins. So I figured when I was at a garage sale about a month ago, Mary's 22-year-old napkins surely must need replacing. So I found these, along with some new luggage tags, and a roll of, they're here. I don't think them out now. And a roll of quarters for her next splashy trip to a Vegas, Reno, or Atlantic City casino.
Or garage sale. Quarters for the garage sale, yeah.
Mary remains a good sport about recycling and reusing. She crafts notes on back of greeting cards, fronts, and allows me to re-gift her. So, here is my latest Starbucks gift card. Since I don't drink coffee, anytime I got them from students, I would re-gift them to Mary. So, enjoy one last re-gifting gift card. Mary also has forever to-do lists, sometimes on multiple pieces of paper. So now she has a new notepad that says, enjoy the little things, to make her multiple retirement to-do list, but of course not for 6 months.
That's for 6 months.
Okay?
And just 2 days ago when we were on the Mount Olympus trip, she showed me a scrap of paper, one of her little notes with my name on it, and the letters BEA. And we still haven't figured out what that scrap was about.
I wrote a note to remember something, and I have no idea what it meant.
As teachers, we have filled out numerous student rating scales over the years, like the Basque and the Connors. And a long time ago, when we were that team of 5 with 125 students, now it's a team of 4 with close to 125 students, we were filling out a form on our dear student Jamie. Mary read the question to our team of 5. How long does this student attend to a task? Norma replied, forever. He never ends the task. John Rice then asked, keep in mind this was like January, who's that kid? Do we got that kid? No, we don't get the kid in there. We got a forever sign.
Very good. That was. Norma, do you remember saying that? Norma, where'd you go?
I don't think we're there.
Forever. Oh, funny.
This next item is actually just to see if you recognize it, because apparently I never chucked it.
We share that too. It says Mrs. Worley misspelled on it. To Mrs. Worley from Chris Schulte. Yes, I remember him. This, I can tell you, sounds like a jar of glitter. We had a student who put glitter on everything. And he was so proud of himself because he was convinced that's what made a project pretty. Glitter. Oh. Is this his?
No, that's what you gave me. It was
You. When I was spoofing you.
yeah, and
Okay.
I didn't realize
Oh,
you
that's
put it
clever.
together and really thought it was from Chris Schulte.
I know.
And this last item is from your 7th grade hallway team of Suzanne, Jill, Will, Sue, Sarah, and me, a gift card to Needed Relief Spa.
Wow. All right. Thank you.
So, teachers, family, neighbors, and friends, please raise your glasses. Here's to Mary and a remarkable, one-of-a-kind teaching career. May her retirement be a story written in the excellent column of the rubric. May it forever include simple and delightful snacks,
Tossing out of the old,
recycling and reusing the important,
making carefree lists,
travel to splashy new destinations,
and may it forever be rich with laughter.
and glitter, and rejuvenation and relaxation.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You've been standing a long time. We have 1 minute and 8 seconds left of the tribute. Our son Aaron has sent something to his mother, and like a true student, he kept within the 1 minute of 8 seconds. So, good boy, Aaron.
That's my kid.
Hey Mom, hello from my window overlooking La Paz, Bolivia, complete with the 2 staples of La Paz, construction noises, and dogs barking. Well, you made it to the end of an era. I grew up with the stories of your classroom at school to the extent that I always felt like a little bit a part of it. Although I didn't catch on to everything, like the fact that your teaching partner's name was first name Sue, last name Stadola, and not some one-name celebrity figure like Madonna named Sue Stadola. I've always asked you how you could put up with 7th graders. You did far more than put up with them. You put your heart and soul into mentoring them to be good, intelligent young people. And not just for the extra handful of mouse bars when you ran into a former student working the counter, but because you had a deep passion for teaching and truly cared about your students. So congratulations on a wonderful career, an impressive marriage, and may your second 60 years be just as good as your first. I'll be 84 by then, and definitely need some of your homemade lasagna in my old age. That's nice, and enjoy the party.
This will be fewer than 60 seconds, guaranteed. My name is Ben Meyer. I'm the oldest son. I am 4 years younger than Aaron. A couple of years ago, what did I say?
Younger.
Right? I work in TV. I need a teleprompter back. I'm 4 years older than Aaron. About 6 years ago, he passed me in height, much to my chagrin, and I can still see he's taller than me, which annoys me to no end. I want to say one thing to my mom that I don't think I've ever told you before. I'm a proud graduate of Mount Worth High School in 2007. However, a little part of me, and I don't think I've ever told you this, always wished that I went to Verona. because it would have meant that I would have had the greatest teacher any student could have. But I got something better. The greatest mom. Anyway.
Thanks, folks. Thanks for coming this evening. Oh, Mary wants to say something? Ask them to eat cake before they leave.
You guys, you have figured out, as I have, that it's people. It's people. It's caring about people. And I care about all of you. And thank you for caring about me. Thank you for coming. Please eat. Please notice the decorations. I don't do crafts. That's thanks to Deb. Muffy and her husband Ray, my cousin, have traveled all the way from New York. And last but not least, but most honored, is our mother, Louise. She sent us an anniversary card. Our anniversary is Monday, and this says it all. Our mom taught us to dream big, live large, set goals. Life is a journey of sweetness and sorrow, of yesterday's memories and hopes for tomorrow, of pathways we choose and detours we face, with patience and humor and courage and grace, of joys that we've shared and of the people we've met who have touched us in ways we will never forget. Thank you for coming. I am so excited. I am retired.